An elite Division I volleyball player can jump over 100 times in one game. Over a 30-game season, that is a lot of high-impact jumps. That's not to scare you, but that's to let you know what you're getting into, and we're going to cover that today. Now, I do want to preface, volleyball was never my main sport as a collegiate strength coach, but I've been around some great collegiate strength coaches and absorbed how they've trained their athletes, as well as some of the coaching staff and how they've worked with the athletes on a week-to-week basis in season. So we're going to base this video around that knowledge, as well as some published research from Stanford's strength staff for volleyball to give you the best opportunity to see what a week really looks like. And one final quick note, every conference schedule is a little bit different. So how I'm going to lay this out is scheduling back-to-back games Friday, Saturday. Not every conference does that, so I do want you to know. So in our system, again, we're going Friday and Saturday matches, back-to-back. Monday's the NCAA-mandated off day, then 3 days of very specific training before it all repeats. So we start with Monday, and of course, that's the NCAA off day. Now, not every coach is going to set Monday as the off day, but you have to have 1 day a week that is off. You are allowed to do voluntary work, but nothing mandatory. That means no practice, no mandatory lifting, no required film study, not even a team meeting. Players can still get voluntary treatment or hit study hall, but nothing athletic can be forced. And now Tuesday's where the real training starts, and it starts heavy. We're pretty far away from the first game, so this is where we hit that hard stimulus. You're gonna work your squat variation at about 75 to 85%, heavier posterior chain work, some rows, some single leg work. This is your biggest lift of the week. And of course, none of these lifts are random. Vertical jump comes from triple extension of the ankle, knee, and hip, and volleyball is a big jumping sport, which makes the squat so important to make sure we're training that attribute. But then that posterior chain is just as important. With all that jumping, you become a quad dominant athlete. So we need to work the posterior chain to protect against ACLs, your upper back to protect against all that hitting, to make sure that we have a braking system to keep you healthy. This is placed exactly 72 hours before Friday's match on purpose, far enough out that soreness won't affect play. If you've been following the periodization videos lately, we do that for pretty much every sport. And this structure is adapted directly from Stanford's volleyball's own published program. But then from here, we go to Wednesday, and Wednesday becomes a very volleyball-specific day. We're doing some trap bar work at lighter loads, Bulgarian split squats, landmine rotation presses, and altitude drops. The single leg split squat work is great because you're moving laterally a lot as a volleyball player, but as a defensive player, you're also jumping off one leg for a lot of your blocks. So we want to make sure that we're building strength off one leg. And then we work in that landmine rotational strength because the body does not work off of straight lines, right? We come in and we rotate for those hits. You're rotating a little bit during some blocks. We want to make sure we're building strength and power from the hips through the abdomen into the arm. And the altitude drops are the most important piece here. Most volleyball injuries happen landing, not jumping. A player takes off explosively without thinking twice, but landing is where ACL tears and patellar tendons get overloaded. Practicing controlled landings here, midweek, when there's no fatigue and no pressure, builds the pattern that actually protects the knee on match day. And that leads us to Thursday, 24 hours out from match day. Medicine ball throws, light trap bar jumps, short sprints, all very low volume. All of these movements end up meaning something specific to us as volleyball players. We are going to go with the med ball so we can mimic the movements of hitting without actually hitting, so we're changing up that force curve a little bit. We are throwing in the light trap bar jumps, not to build strength, but to get that nervous system primed up for tomorrow's game. And then we do the short sprints because volleyball doesn't need long sprints, and it's another way for us to make sure we're getting the nervous system cranking and getting you feeling as good as possible for match day one. The goal of this session isn't fatigue, it's potentiation, leaving the weight room feeling explosive, not worn down. And here we go, game day, match number one. It is Friday, we're jumping into it. Focus on getting something like 15 minutes of morning mobility, and then we compete. And here's a detail most people miss. If a player didn't get real minutes, they might get a short developmental lift right after the match just to protect their fitness baseline. And then we roll right into Saturday. These back-to-back games are tough, so hopefully we focused on recovery last night, and that adrenaline's gonna get pumping for today. And the best part is this is going to be a real test of everything built in the off season in terms of that match fitness. And now Sunday isn't the mandatory off day, but it sort of acts like one. Maybe some light film review, we might be traveling home if it was an away game, and then some training room work. This is recovery in practice, even if it's not recovery on paper. And there's one big thing that makes volleyball programming a little bit different than other sports. Thousands of one-arm swings put a massive repetitive damage on the shoulder. That's why some volleyball programs bias pulling heavily over pressing with a 3-to-1 pull to press ratio. And pressing changes too. Standard barbell overhead pressing is often minimized or avoided, with movements like landmine presses and dumbbell scaptions used instead. And the reasoning for this should make sense. We're trying to manage that overhead hitting motion and keep you healthy throughout the whole season. So that's the whole week. We have 2 games, 1 mandatory off day, and that's how most programs are going to set this up. Now, this is a general template to give you an idea of what to look for, how to train for it if you're not in college yet. So make sure you're using this and then developing your own program on top of it. But hopefully it helped. Never settle with yesterday.